This is a 160 Q&A practice test. Plaintiff Attorney Ms. MS period Lewis, capital L-E-W-I-S. Defense Attorney Ms. MS period West, capital W-E-S-T. And we'll start with the plaintiff attorney. Ready? Okay, Mr. Collins, would you mind stating your full name for the record? Andrew Ray Collins. Could you spell the last name? C-O-L-L-I-N-S. Thank you. Have you ever had your deposition taken before? No. And I'm going to start with a sort of set of ground rules, so sit tight with me while we go over a few preliminary things. Okay? First of all, you are under oath, so this deposition is taking place under the penalty of perjury. All that means is that if you knowingly lie, there's a problem with that. So please, to the best of your ability, tell us the truth. And if you are not sure whether or not it's the truth, please let us know so that we can, adequately figure out how certain you are of the facts that you're talking about. In that regard, you also need to make audible responses because this court reporter is taking a transcription, of the deposition. So anytime you nod or shake your head or say uh-huh or huh-uh, it's a little bit hard for her to interpret that and put it on the record. So, if you would use, I know in normal conversation it's normal for us to, respond to one another visually. So please, under these circumstances, go ahead and give us audible responses with clear yes or no answers. If you can remember to do that, that will be really helpful. Another thing that typically happens in typical conversation is we talk over one another so that you can anticipate what I'm going to finish asking, and you just automatically start talking. In order to answer my question, if you could refrain from doing that today, just so that the court reporter doesn't have to switch, figure out what we're saying while both of us are talking, that will be very helpful. Yes, ma'am. Also, please make sure that you understand the questions. Just because I ask a question doesn't mean that it's perfectly intelligible, and often I confuse myself. So if you need clarification before you answer a question, please ask for it. I'm not going to be offended if you tell me you don't understand what I'm asking, okay? Please stop me and clarify so that you are very certain of exactly what you're answering so that we know that your response is truthful. Additionally, know that something like I don't know is a perfectly legitimate response. If you don't know and that's the truth, then you don't know. Okay, please feel free to say that. Also, if you do have something that you're trying to explain to me, but you only have an estimate as to what it is, I am entitled to that estimate. If you have a general idea of distances or lengths or amounts of time, if you can narrow it down to the best of your ability to an estimate, that would be great, but please don't guess. And a guess is just something that you pull out of the air just to have something to say. Please don't guess. So I am entitled to your best. We'll try to narrow things down as best we can to get as close to what we think you're trying to say is a distance or length of time, but just don't guess. If you would refrain from doing that, that would be great. At the end of this deposition, the court reporter is going to print up this transcript, and we will send it to you so that you can go over it and read through everything that was said. And if there's anything that is incorrect, you will have the opportunity to make those corrections before it's officially, put into the record. We'll give you a chance to do that, but it's our goal to sort of get everything exactly correct today. So do the best that you can today so that there aren't pages and pages of corrections to go through afterwards. Is there any question that you have currently? No. Before we start, is there any reason that you can't give your best testimony here today? that I don't trust the law, I don't trust lawyers, I don't trust businesses. The cases that I've been brought into as far as any justice type thing, being a juror or anything to that sort, I don't think the correct justice was served. Okay, so is there anything specifically that causes you concern about being here giving this deposition today? Yes. What is that? I signed a contract with MPI, a release, when they let me go, and to be honest, I'm not a lawyer, It's printed in lawyer's terms, I have no idea exactly what it says. Okay, I will say that there is opposing counsel here today, so both MPI and St. Catherine's Healthcare are here today. They're represented, so if there's any problem with anything that is being asked of you or anything like that, any evidence, exhibits, anything like that, anybody who has a problem with any of that has the opportunity to object on the record here today. Counsel this is Susan West representing MPI. I'm not aware of what he signed when his employment was terminated, so I can't represent MPI's interest in that regard. I will not be making any objections based on what his employment termination agreement was or was not. Okay, so I can fairly represent MPI's interests in this case. I just don't know what he's entitled to say or not say, or is not allowed to say vis-a-vis his employment pursuant to that agreement, because I'm not aware of it. Again, if that's a concern for him, then he is rightly concerned and needs to understand and comply with that agreement, whatever it is. Okay, go ahead. If I don't understand what the agreement actually says, then where does that put me? I think you need legal counsel. So basically, you're asking a man that's disabled that only brings in $2,000 a month to go out and hire a lawyer for $800 a pop. I'm not seeing where I can do it. I'm being put in a situation where everybody is squeezing a rock for information, and I have nothing left to give. Well, my recommendation would be that he be given time to have somebody advise him on what he can and cannot testify to pursuant to that contract. All right, the word list. We had Andrew Ray Collins, and I spelled Collins in the test, so you have that. Andrew is capital A-N-D-R-E-W. New word Ray, capital R-A-Y. MPI, capital M, capital P, capital I, all caps, no periods, no spaces. St. Catherine's Healthcare. Saint is capital S, small t, period. Catherine's, capital C-A-T-H-E-R-I-N-E, apostrophe S. Health, capital H-E-A-L-T-H. Care, capital C-A-R-E. Susan West, capital S-U-S-A-N. West, capital W-E-S-T. And that is it for the word list, and that will conclude our 160 Q&A practice test.